groin injury was supposedly on the left side, but this was honestly, I'm not going to share this whole clip because I don't know how much she wants to, where she actually has to be held back. She gets so upset that she has to be held back by one of her coaches. And if you watch here, she gets so hype, and if you...
Fans expected Caitlin Clark to be back soon, but instead the Fever just signed a player who's never even stepped foot in the WNBA. Kyra Lambert arrives from Europe with a sharp shooting record, but why would Indiana choose her now? And does this mean Clark's return is much further away than anyone thought? Stick around, because what looks like a simple 7-day signing could be a huge signal about the Fever's true plan, and maybe even about the WNBA's future. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Imagine this, fans are sitting around, refreshing their feeds, hoping Caitlin Clark is finally about to return, and instead the Fever announce a brand new face who's never played a single second in the WNBA. Kyra Lambert. That name doesn't ring out like other stars, but in Europe she made a serious impact. In fact, she carved out her reputation overseas, knocking down threes at a 42% clip while playing steady minutes against grown pros.
But he said something that really triggered her in this moment, like for her to almost square up with the referee. I don't know what was going on, and it was either the pain of it, it was either like, here we go again, it was frustration. I'm not sure exactly. We probably won't get many details about the injury. She handles the pressure, she handles all of the media spotlight, the attention. She is fighting back tears, and she walks straight over to the bench. Now, when she goes over to the bench, she starts crying, and I've honestly never seen Caitlin Clark.
On paper, that's a weapon the Fever could use. But here's the thing, success in Greece isn't the same as the grind of a WNBA season. This is where it gets tricky. Lambert's resume shows she helped lead her team to a Greek A1 championship, proving she knows how to win at a high level. But none of that erases the elephant in the room, no WNBA experience. She's walking into the league where every possession is faster, every defender is stronger, and the spotlight burns from day one. And she has to do it while fans are staring at her, waiting to compare everything she does to Caitlin Clark. That's a brutal situation for a 7-day hardship contract. It also feels crowded. Indiana already stacked its roster with hardship guards trying to fill minutes while Clark heals. Adding Lambert almost screams desperation, like the team is unsure about who to trust and just taking chances on anyone available. Fans saw the signing and immediately started venting online. They weren't reacting to Lambert herself, they were reacting to what this move could mean. If the team is still fishing for guards, maybe it's because the return of Clark is nowhere near as close as people thought.
Groin injury was supposedly on the left side, but this was honestly, I'm not going to share this whole clip because I don't know how much she wants to. Caitlin Clark is somebody, you know, she hides it really well, and I don't know if hiding it or she handles it is probably the right thing to say. So as you guys can see here, she is dribbling down, she plants her foot, she passes the ball to Kelsey Mitchell on the back door, is the story that Caitlin Clark seems to have re-injured her groin. So I'm just going to show you guys the clip.
So the message here isn't about Lambert being a filler piece. It's about what she represents, the possibility that Caitlin Clark's injury timeline is worse than expected. And that leads right into the real story, Clark's injury. Nobody thought Caitlin Clark's rookie year would look like this. At Iowa she played every single game, never sitting out. Now in the WNBA, she's already missed 21.
One another, something happens, and it's honestly never good. It's never good, and of course the biggest story of the night, the video of her basically crying on the court to be circulated around, but she walks down to the end of the court. You can tell that she's in pain. You can tell that there's something wrong, but it was honestly just so heartbreaking to see because in that moment she just looked so defeated. And Caitlin Clark had an interaction with the referee, and we still don't know what this referee actually said, but I also want to show you guys this clip.
Fans counted on her to be that constant presence, and the sudden shift has created panic. It feels like Indiana and the league never even considered the idea of Clark not being on the court. The way the team talks about her absence doesn't help either. Reporters ask for updates, and the answers keep coming back the same, day-to-day or no timetable. Those phrases say nothing, and people are starting to see them as just stalling. Supporters go into each game hoping she'll surprise everyone with a comeback, then the announcement drops again, she's out.
And then when she is running back on the other end of the court, it seems like she's grabbing her groin area. Now it also seems like she's grabbing her right groin area and her last, where she actually has to be held back. She gets so upset that she has to be held back by one of her coaches. And if you watch here, she gets so hype. So as you can see, Caitlin's going back and forth with this referee number 39. And then he says something.
That cycle has stretched on for weeks, and the frustration grows louder every time. The impact goes far beyond the box score. Take the matchups that were supposed to define this season. National TV hyped them up expecting Clark to play, and without her the numbers nosedived. League-wide viewership dropped 55%, and primetime ratings fell 53%. Even the All-Star Game, which was supposed to be a showcase, dipped compared to last year when Clark was the main attraction.
The expectations of how she performs on the court, the expectations of the ratings for her games. She goes to the, what's it called, like stanchion or whatever, the thing that holds up the basketball hoop on the other end. She hits her head on it, cry on the court, except when she lost the national championship game. She keeps it together no matter what is happening. But you could just tell that something happened on that play. To lip read, what I think she said was, "It has nothing to do with that," or "That has nothing to do with that." That was her response. Now, we can't see what the referee said.
That's not just a minor dip, that's the entire league losing casual fans who tuned in just for her. Ticket sales tell the same story. On the road, teams were cashing in with prices skyrocketing when Clark visited. But once she went down, those numbers collapsed. In Chicago, a ticket that cost $86 to see her dropped to $25 once she was ruled out. That swing is impossible to ignore. It shows how tied the business side of the league is to her name. And then there's the physical toll. Before missing games, Clark was taking brutal hits almost every night. She's already drawn 5 flagrant fouls, more than almost any player this season. It's starting to look less like bad luck and more like a hostile environment targeting her body. That's why the Fever may not just be planning for a few weeks off, they could be preparing for Clark not returning at full strength at all. And that takes us to the bigger issue, how this affects Indiana's long-term strategy and even the WNBA's future business. The Fever bringing in Kyra Lambert isn't just about filling minutes.